Hello and welcome back to another video tutorial here from Geekatplay Studios. My name is Gary Miller and this is a tutorial on how to create holes in your objects, whether it's a building or whatever, using, or rather not using, the Boolean operation. If you look at these two objects here, both of them appear to be identical. Both of them are the same shape and both of them have the same hole cut inside of them. The difference, however, is though one of them was created using a Boolean operation and the other was not. This is the one I created using a Boolean operation, and this is the one I created the hole using the sweep surface tool. I could have also used the fast extrude, but I just used the sweep surface tool. The reason for this tutorial is that it has been my experience over the past couple years that when I am creating an object and I am putting lots of Boolean holes into it, either if I'm making a large building with that needs lots of holes to create windows or doors or whatever the given project calls for, eventually there have been times that the program no longer allows me to create holes in the object I'm making, and it usually happens before I finished putting all the holes into my object, unfortunately. And even though I've saved my progress, closed the program out, started it back up, loaded my previous scene, thinking, well, maybe the program's just gotten confused, and I pick up where I left off, it still won't allow me to create additional holes in my object. So this is not a technique that I invented. It's something that I learned off of another tutorial by someone smart, far greater than myself. But it was a written tutorial, and I really hate written tutorials because you really got to figure out what they're doing, and I like video tutorials so much better. So I'm going to recreate both of these objects, one with a Boolean cut and the other using this other process, not using a Boolean cut, and hopefully if you ever run into the problem of not being able to apply a Boolean operation to an object, this might be a suitable and effective workaround for you. So I'll delete these. What's this? I don't need that. I will grab my object here, ungroup it. Now this is the original scene that I started off with when I made those other two objects, so I'm going to start off all over again. Here is one building, and here is the other. Here is a window that we're going to cut into it, and here's the other window. So I will grab both of my windows, and I'm just going to move them right into our little pretend buildings here. I'm going to select that one, come up here to Boolean operation on my custom tool tab here, but you can also access the Boolean operation tool up here in your surface modeling tab. I'm going to click on Boolean operation, then I'm just going to click on my building, and it creates a nice little cut right like that. On this one, we can't do that. We're going to create a hole just like the other one, but without using a Boolean operation. So in order to do so, select my building, click on Vertex Modeling, come up here to Free Tessellate. Now what I want to do is I want to click on this third one here, which is Tessellation by Slice. And Tessellation by Slice. I'm going to come up here, and when I hold down my Shift key, it will constrain the ability or the movement of this tool to either the ends of this edge or the middle. As you see, it jumps around as I move my cursor across this edge while I have Shift held down. So hold down Shift. I'm just going to click once, and it creates a nice little cut all the way through that building that I've created. I'm click on Select Edges, select that edge. I'm going to loop it. Come up here to my edge tool. I'm going to click on this first one here, and I'm going to click on, it gives you three options actually. Click on Extract Around, Extract Along, or Fillet. I'm going to click on extract around, undo that, click it again, and extract around. There we are. Sometimes it doesn't behave properly the first time I set out to use it, so I have to undo and then try it again. And there we are. Now I've created edges that are on either side of the object that I want to cut into my building. Essentially, I framed it off. And I've done it on the horizontal. Now I need to do it again on the vertical. I'm going to just hide my window real quick. And with my building selected, I'm going to click on the tessellate tool again, tessellate by slice, and holding down my shift key, I'm going to click once, validate that. I'm going to click on my edge that I just created, hit loop, and come right back up here to my edge tool, and I'm going to, now I need to see my window again. I'm going to extract around. Now I'm going to do it incorrectly just to show you what you can do to fix it if you do it. Well, see, I've got my line here. I want it up here parallel with the top, and I want this line down here parallel with the bottom. But gee, I just didn't do it enough. So here's a quick fix. Select both of those, loop it, and I'm going to use my vertical scaling tool, which is another reason why I like using the universal manipulator. I got all my tools right here at hand. So I'm just going to scale it up. There we go. That's what I want. Now I'm going to hide my window. Now I've got a perfect square framed off in the center of my rectangle. Well, there's several ways I can go about making my window now. I can select all four of these, if I select all four of them, and hit my sweep surface tool. But before I do that, I'm just going to get rid of these lines here. Click on select edges. I'm going to select those four edges, and I'm going to hit my delete key. Now I'm going to select faces. I'm going to select that center one. Now I'm just going to hit sweep surface, and I'm going to extrude inward, and I'm going to validate that. Now we've got all these extra lines that we probably don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight them, click loop, hit my backspace key, and delete them. And I will select that, loop that, hit my backspace key. Now, a word of caution, the program does need to have these other lines in here in order to, and I don't know the technical word or the technical function of them, but they need to be present because of the vertices or something like that, that it calculates in creating this object. Because look what happens if I go to hit my backspace key. Oh, well, it worked there, but notice something's amiss here. It created a solid object. It got all funky. So you can practice getting rid of some of the extra vertices, but you will need to leave some behind in order for it to accurately construct or maintain the integrity of the object that you have created. So we've got our window that we just cut into it without creating a Boolean operation, and it looks exactly, delete that, exactly like the one that we made using a Boolean operation, and you wouldn't know the difference. Now, I personally like to use this method that I just explained over Boolean operations. I've just found it to be less problematic in the development of my model creation. Although it does take just a few moments longer, I've noticed less problems as I go along, especially since I usually export my models into a UV editing program. I notice I often have cleaner meshes that allow me to texture easier. So there's a no bool tutorial on how to create holes without the Boolean operation. I hope you find this useful, and I hope you learned something from it. And once again, thanks for watching here at Geekatplay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Have a good day.